Sometimes the easy solution creates easy problems. Sometimes going the easy route and thinking you can just fix something quick doesn't always pan out the way that you want. We're talking about the Guardians because everybody over the last week, we sent one clip out. We do a great job with our clips here at Big Play, but it's a small snippet of the show, and people instantly think that I'm saying Oscar Gonzalez and John Genzi Noel are better than Chase DeLauter. Stop smiling, Ryan. That's not what I think. But I was just making points on last week's show about bringing DeLauter up just doesn't fix everything, and he's still going to have to adjust to Major League hitting, and people want to grab onto something. People want to grab something to this team because right now you're in this awkwardness of where the Guardians are at. The division, that's about done. That's the lead the Guards had in the division last year. And you caked walk in the second half. Yeah, you're fighting for a wild card spot, and I think they'll be in that fight. But you have all these things that you're worried about how the Guardians play. And I'm just sorry. I can't just buy into bringing up Chase DeLauter is going to fix anything. Or that Kafis kid. What do you have, 2 Grand Slams this week? All right, I get where you're wanting. But it's something about the Guardians we got to get to. Browns, Brook Park's happening. We knew that, but a bigger discussion now that it's official. They're going to get their money. They're going to be heading to Brook Park. Deontay Johnson, sometimes oversharing isn't a good thing. We like it in the media because it's something to grab onto. So we get to his comments. Cavs, Kevin Durant. Interesting about the Cavs situation there. All the trades going on, NBA draft happening. We'll get to that. We got the grid. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. So happy to have you along in this week's show. You can always catch us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Instagram is Big Play. YouTube is Big Play for all the replays. Presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford. We love you very much. Pure AV, Garage Beer. And I real quick wanted to wrap up and give a special shout out to everybody at the Colleague Championship, the Colleague companies. Well done. They got a playoff, which is a lot of fun. We were there last week. Ryan, Kimmy shot me a text. And to her and to her great team, what a fantastic job they did. Ryan, she texted me. That was the largest gate that they had ever had for that event, for the senior tour there at Firestone. So they do such an excellent job. They spare no expense. It ran perfect. Little rain, not just raindrops, but it was a fantastic time out there last week. And in her text, she goes, all that means with more people being there is more money that we're able to give back to the community with their charitable endeavors. So shout out to Kimmy and everybody at the Colleague Championships, Matt and his whole team. It was a fantastic event, and we were just really proud to be there and be a part of it. I know we had a fantastic time. Ryan basically lived there for 3 days, so it was fun.
Yeah, I was able to play the North Course.
Oh, isn't that
I was
fun?
fortunate enough to play 18 on the North Course.
Yeah.
Obviously, the seniors play the South. I played all right. I gave my money to a caddy, not charity, but at the same time, it's basically the same.
Caddies.
He got me shooting pretty decent, actually, for how I normally shoot, but beautiful course.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And again, we're so happy to be a part of that. Shout out to everybody, and we'll be back there before you know it next year for the 2026 Firestone Senior Championship there, the Colleague Companies Championship. So I wanted to give them a special shout out with the weekend and wrapping ready to go. All right, Guardians. Where are you at with the Guardians, Ryan? Because I'm not trying to sit here, and you know me. I'm not one of these guys that love to sit there and like, oh, told you so. Oh, pat myself on the back. I told you. This is kind of what I thought this Guardians team was going to be. They're 2 games above 500. They're a half game back of one of the wild card right now. 8 back in the division, which I don't think anybody see the Tigers doing what they're doing. But this is kind of the baseball team that I thought they were going to be. They got to play scrappy. They got to pitch well. They got to run the bases. They got to do all these little types of things to try to win. And you still have 2 Spider and dude, they're all over my house right now.
Yeah, they're mine as well.
They're everywhere right now.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. The Guardians got to just play this brand of baseball that it's not easy. That's the hardest thing. You want to know what? It makes it hard on them, and it makes it hard on you and me to watch because it's not just we'll smack a bunch of home runs or we got a bunch of guys going out there giving up no runs, right? They got to play this scrappy brand of baseball. The thing is, they can do it, and I've seen them do it, but their margin for error is so small that sometimes things go bad. Or on Wednesday night, they walk it off great, and that's just a little scrappy baseball. Bunts getting down and how you play. And, I don't want to get angry about Hunter Gaddis. I don't.
There's a lot of worse things you can do.
You're right. You're right. And that's kind of the thing. There's multiple things on this list. I got texts from my good friends that are done with Gabriel Arias, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just this rotation. Like, you're on a bit of a heater with Lane Thomas all of a sudden. You're like, okay, maybe he could. I feel really confident in saying this. There are only 3 staples to your lineup. It's Jose Ramirez, it's Steven Kwan, and it's wherever Carlos Santana is going to play and bat that day. That's it. Those are the only guys that I know when I show up to the ballpark that are going to play. You can only DH Fry for right now. I want more bats for Schneemann. They're giving consistent bats to Angel Martinez. I like that. And Gabi Arias, like, take it or leave it. Some gaffes here and there. Okay, fine. But with all that, everybody is just now on call these guys up. DeLauter and Kafis, right? That's how I say his last name, the kid that's slapping all the home runs down there.
Mm-hmm.
You want him up because you want something to grab onto. This is crazy to say. It's hard to say you grab onto Jose Ramirez because we've seen him for so long. He's so good. And I get that you're frustrated, like I was on Wednesday, watching these guys take third strikes almost straight down. Dude, Bill Miller, what the hell was that on Wednesday night? What was that strike zone on Wednesday?
What's his name?
Bill Miller.
I didn't know that.
Bill Miller. Bro, what are we
Is he notorious?
doing? I don't know.
Like Angel was?
So I follow, there's an account on Twitter. It's umpire grades. It's literally every game. They don't put it out by the time we record on Thursdays. It's usually like midday the day after the games. And they'll put out missed calls, run differential that helped either other team, and then versus average of the rest of baseball on consistency and then actual balls.
Is it like the 2-minute report, but for the whole game?
Yeah. Like, here, I'll pull it up. Umpire report card. It's a really good account to follow. Now, that, I guess, can somewhat be biased, but it's all numbers because you got the box, the robo ones. All right, and these are from, I don't have Wednesday night for Bill Miller, so I don't know how well he did. But I'm going to try to find Tuesday night. What was that, the 10-6 game? Everybody was... Yep, here it is. Okay. Roberto Ortiz was the umpire Tuesday night. He had a relative accuracy score, overall accuracy of a 94. That is league average. His consistency was 95%. That's 1% up. 94 is consistency. His called ball accuracy was 96% solid. His called strike accuracy was only 89%.
Ooh, that's not going to fly, Bill.
And then, well, it was Roberto Ortiz from Tuesday night.
Oh, okay.
So then they actually have a graph that shows like missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call, and then the most impactful calls. Like on Tuesday night, top of the first, Logan Allen pitching to Schneider. 2 outs, runner on second, 2-2 count. A ball is called a strike. So that helped the Guardians. And then they came up with that actually Tuesday night, he was a half a run preferential to the Guardians. And then it goes back and forth. So that's your umpire scorecard. I didn't mean to divulge into that. It was just something I was thinking about because Bill Miller, dude, he was atrociously bad on Wednesday night. It's terrible. I never thought I'd break down and actually be like, dude, just bring the robo.
I think the issue, and people want to see Chase DeLauter, of course they do, because he's fun and exciting. Same with CJ Kafis. I think the problem is when you're doing this platoon like Stephen Vogt's doing, and you're not giving consistent at bats to fan favorites like Manzardo, I would say is a fan favorite.
What did Kyle Manzardo
and even a guy like Daniel Schneemann, who has kind of become more so of a fan favorite because he's made most of his opportunities. So when you keep platooning those guys with like your Will Wilsons, your Angel Martinez's, your you name it, when it was John Kenzie
Why
Noel,
do we still have 3
I think the
catchers
reason,
up here,
if you're going to roll with the platoon, well then at least cut out the fat that is the Will Wilsons and at least make these young guys part of the platoon. No,
and that's your biggest thing about Kafis and Chase DeLauter. And I'm coming off as a stick in the mud, don't bring them up. I'll be as excited as anybody when those guys come up. Now, I will have relative excitement because here's what there's two. Well, obviously, this is the most obvious statement that I've ever made. They're going to come up and do well or not do well. Shocker.
No, they could do average.
Well, I guess. But like, here's my point. They're either going to come up and you have just such a gap between AAA pitching and Major League pitching. But then the book that the hitters, they don't know, the pitcher doesn't know them as well, stuff like that. Like, you see pitchers come up and they light up. That Chase Burns kid for the Reds.
The dude from Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
The pitcher, Jacob, whatever his name.
Whatever his name is.
Jacob M?
Yeah, him and Skeen's going at it. But, like, they come up and the hitters don't have a book on them, so that kind of, like, favors towards the pitcher. And the pitcher will always have the advantage. You do your job 3 out of 10 times, you're almost a Hall of Famer. You know, like, pitching will always have the advantage. But my whole point is DeLauter's going to come up or Kafis will come up, and I don't want people to think that they won't get sent back down or just think that here comes our godsend answer. I don't think that's it. I'm actually really starting to put my focus in something that I will know let me down. Go make a move. Go make a move. Trust me, everybody will sit there and say, hold your breath for the Guardians to make a move, right? If you think you're in this, and you're in a wild card race right now, go make a move. Now, the problem is to do that, you might have to trade away. I'm not talking about trading away a top prospect or things like that. But if you are just really that starved, which I will agree with you, here's the ultimate question. Do you think that this team is one player away from making the playoffs? Now, you might say, pitcher. Well, you'll get Bieber back eventually. But do you really think they're one? Like, think about this. The lineup that they put out there, it's not consistent. But like I said, you got Kwan, you got Santana, you got Ramirez. They always play. Give me your Schneemans, give me your Angel Martinez, give me your Gabi Arias, whatever. If they went and made a move for an everyday starting second baseman, that's an average veteran hitter, does that do it for you? I would maybe just a little more consistency. Go make that move.
Yeah,
I'll wait. Right.
I would say
I don't think
I
so.
I want to say no, but then at the same time, like, their offense is so stinky, and they're still above 500. And if you continue to play this guards ball, which you've seen them do year and year after again, I don't know that I can say no. For most teams, you look at the lineup and say no, but the Guardians are just such an interesting dynamic where they manage to do things you never think they should be able to do, and they do it year after year. So I want to say no, but at the same time, like, I don't know if I can confidently say that it wouldn't put them over the hump.
No, that's what Chris Anthony and Mike Chernoff got to figure out. They got to sit down and ask themselves a really tough question: is if we're one player away, or maybe they do like the Lane Thomas thing, where it's a guy that you can get for multiple years of control after that. What do you give up? What are you getting back? Like, these are all things they got to weigh. And at the end of the day, I just think that this is what this Guards team is. Doesn't mean I don't think they can win the playoffs in the playoffs or get there, but they just got to play just such a marginalized game right now, which is pretty tough. So we'll see how it goes. I'm all right. They're kind of where I expected them to be. And we'll see how the rest of this. Again, we're not even to July yet. It's crazy to say that we just raced through June. Here we are. Trade deadline's a month away. We'll see how things shake out with the Guardians coming up. All right, big news on the stadium front for the Browns. We knew it was going to happen, but it's all but official now. It's going through the state senate. I do want to discuss that and an epiphany that I've had when it comes to the stadium thing, because you know where I've been. You know I'm a little upset about it. I've had an epiphany. We'll get to that coming up. Deontay Johnson letting some things out. He doesn't like the cold. Came to Cleveland. Oh, that's because Cleveland was the only team that contacted him. We'll get to all that coming up. And a little Cavs. We'll mix it all in. Folks, Fairway Ford. I was riding with my brother the other day.
Matt, I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Are you?
We're doing Big Factor live.
Nice. They're the best. Canfield. I was riding with my brother. He goes, yeah, my AC's on the fritz. What a bad time to have the AC in your car being on the fritz, man. Not now. No. So I'm scrolling through, right? And I'm driving an Explorer. And I bought it pre-owned, not from Fairway. And I should have, but I didn't. And I'm like, I'm looking at some of these prices for literally. I'm staring at this Explorer right here, Ryan. It is a brand new, active, 4-wheel drive, metallic tri-coat white with the interior gray and onyx. Bro, it's like $10,000 more than what I paid for a used Explorer. I'd rather just pay that and have the brand new just everything I know works and it's all good. The pre-tariff pricing is still on. The employee pricing is still on. And then I'm just sitting here. I'm just on the Explorer page right now. Here's one, $4,800 off. Why? Just because it's Fairway Ford. Here's another one, $6,000 off. A demo special 2025 ST Line 4-wheel drive Ford Explorer at Fairway Ford. Here we go. They got it all. The great vehicles, pre-owned, brand new, service is amazing, the people are amazing, and they'll deliver it to you. Canfield, Ryan's making that drive to Canfield. Not a bad drive.
No,
not a bad drive at all. You can go to their website, fairwayfordohio.com, search their inventory. They have a chat feature. I'm not kidding. This could be you. This could be your experience. Fairwayfordohio.com. Find it. Little chat. Little fill out. You can even fill out some paperwork online. Done and done. Short drive to Canfield.
An hour 20. That's so easy.
Not bad.
So easy.
They could have that sitting out front for you. You walk in, you get in the car, you do your test drive, come on back, done. Fill out some other paperwork. You head home. They'll deliver it to you. Be in the driveway in a couple of days. How easy. With thousands of dollars off right now at Fairway Ford. The Explorers, the Raptors, the Rangers. I see a lot of Ford Mavericks around all of a sudden as well. They got everything for you. And you want to get something brand new, they do have some priority with custom orders at Ford. Get that big old Bronco for the summer. They got the Bronco that the whole thing comes back, It's not even like a moonroof. The whole thing comes off. It's the best. Fairway Ford is the place to go. They are the best. Ryan's going to be there. I don't know if anybody's doing anything on Friday. Stop on by. See Big Factor and Ryan out there at Fairway Ford. Yeah. We appreciate them. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't send you places I don't trust. And I trust them very much at Fairway Ford. All right, we got to talk about the stadium update. We'll get to it next. Fontana Show, Big Play, and The Rock. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com today.
So it's happening, as we all knew, and over months we knew it was going to be, but it's official in the state Senate or something like this. It's Brook Park is happening. They got the money that they needed from the state. There's a bigger conversation to be had about how this reflects on Chris Ronayne and Justin Bibb, but we'll get to all of it. Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. Of course, you can catch us on Fridays on The Rock. Missed the show, go back on YouTube at Big Play. We're on Instagram as well, and you can follow the show at Matt Fontana Show, presented by our great friends at Garage Beer, Fairway Ford, and Pure AV. I was thinking about this, dude. It is blazing hot out there right now. You don't really want to walk out and play 18. What if you had a brand new golf simulator in your house? Air-conditioned golf, it can be yours with Pure AV. They do it all, though. And you scan that QR code right there if you're on the TV side of things. You just check them out, pureavcorp.com. Tell them we sent you from Big Play. But that home automation is so important. It is so great. Wouldn't you like to come home and have your AC set for you so you know it was on? And like I saw, this was a great thing I saw from somebody. They go, you know that your air conditioning in your home really can only cool you down about 20 degrees from the air temperature outside. So it's like, it's in the 90s, and you're trying to set your thing to 70. It's going to be a hard push, right? The smart home, you're gone. You're gone during the day. Click it on up. Save that energy. Save yourself some money. They can do all that. How about automatic blinds to keep that sun out for you? Pure AV can do it all. And then just the luxury audio-visual, the 4K, the Dolby Atmos surround sound. I know it's a little hot to be outside right now. You want that exterior setup for you, or that big golf simulator. They can do it for you at Pure AV. It's endless. And just check them out. They'll come out to your home. You can go down to their showroom in Akron. It's a short drive to see everything that they have at Pure AV. And the other side of it, you already have stuff installed, and it's on the fritz. Pure AV. I don't say a lot of their business, but some of their business is fixing some of the mistakes or fixing things that go wrong. Even if they didn't install it, they can do that for you. Brad and Don, they're the guys you're going to talk to, and they are awesome. And it's really endless on what they can show you. Tell them we sent you with our friends at Pure AV online, pureavcorp.com. So it's paved in the Senate. It's paved in the House. And, like, here's the thing. Ryan, I hate politics. I really do. Even as, like, I'm an older, I'm in my mid-30s now. Just turned 36. But I hate that, wishy-washy. I don't like talking about it. I really don't. We don't usually bring it up on this show because that's not what you come to this show for. And I respect everybody of whoever you voted for, whatever side you're on. I respect you. Okay, that's it. But in this situation where it's like that is politics to a T, Ryan. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. What happened? The Haslams are getting their stadium. They're getting $600 million from the state to get it done. A lot of the private funding they're going to take care of, and they're moving to Brook Park. And I'm not anti that. I can't stand in the way of it. And the epiphany that I had with this whole stadium thing is this. I do not like that they're not going to be downtown. I don't like that, and I'm not going to like it until the day that I go to the new stadium. And I'm going to walk into that new stadium and see everything brand new and an excellent layout and good parking and the shops they told us all about. And I'm going to tell you, on that day, which is still 4 years away or 3 years away, that is the day that it will finally sink into my fat head. And I will go, all right. No one's ever accused me of being a visionary. Just ask my wife. No one's ever accused me of doing that. And it was hard for me to see the vision. I know we'll get there. I just am going to be sad that they're not in downtown Cleveland. But if that's going to bring the money that they say it's going to bring, and it's going to bring all the shops and the events and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be brand new for the team to play, so be it. Am I going to miss the snow games? Yeah. Am I going to miss being down on the lake? Yeah. I ain't going to miss that parking. I ain't going to miss some of the hassles that it was. So, like, now that, and it's just been step after step after step, right, of being told over and over again, like, this is going to happen, and this is the final, not the final, but they'll get shovels on the ground soon, and they'll start moving forward. I mean, Daryl, who's been all over this, by the way, shout out to Daryl Ryder, 92.3. I mean, he's had all this coverage, and he's done an excellent job reporting on it. They're going to close the sale on that lot by the end of this week, and it's going to be official. Dude, they might start clearing land next week. You know, like that. It's going to be fun to see the progress on that's going. I'm still going to be sad they're not downtown, but nothing we can do about it. Brook Park Browns, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many different things I could care more about than where the Browns are going to be completely honest with you. I feel like the more that I thought about it, I couldn't quite put together why I was so nostalgic about it being downtown. Like,
it's all you knew.
It is all I knew, but at the same time, if they're going to figure out parking, if they're going to figure out all the traffic, and it's going to be an easy process to go somewhere that is a nicer stadium with nicer venues and more things to do, quite frankly, then I'm not going to be upset at it. Like, it's the nostalgia people are holding on to. Like, I bet most people don't really care if you ask them about it affecting downtown's like economy. I think more so they're just about the nostalgia factor, at least because most people that go to the Browns games, like a lot of people, remember, don't actually live in Cleveland. Like, they live around it like we do, right? So I think the nostalgia was a big part. I just personally have lost it. Like, it's taken, we talked about this for so long, I can no longer care.
And that's just what it comes down to. It's taken a toll on all of us. And I think we're all sick of seeing
the Browns suck.
Well, here's the thing. It's not even over. You want to know why I saw this morning? They're preparing a class action lawsuit.
Yeah,
there's two Democratic former state officials say they're preparing a class action lawsuit that if the state actually uses taxpayer money, that they're going to get a class action lawsuit to stop them. You know, the big change was what? They amended the Modell law. And the city of Cleveland have run out of legal avenues to force the Browns to stay in Cleveland. And I'll give you one other thing, too, because you mentioned the economic impact of downtown. Fix the problem.
Yeah.
I get that the Browns are a big piece of that, and they got a bunch of tax dollars over the years and all that kind of stuff. How about you fix the problem, city officials? How about you come up with ways to fix why downtown is not bustling and you have more of this? I get it. I love this town. I'm never leaving Cleveland. Never in my life. And I love being from here, and I'm proud to be a lifelong Clevelander. I see the problems. I see the warts, okay? Do we have a downtown that is thriving on a nice day? Sure, there's people down on the flats.
Yeah.
Sure, there's people down by the parks and things like that. But how many of those days do you get, right? What are you doing to drive people downtown? Fix that on your own. That's your problem. City officials and elected officials here. Fix it. And I get it. People are complaining. What about the money for the schools? What about the money for the roads and all that? I'm like so many people out there watching and listening to us right now. I am you. I'm a city tax-paying person that enjoys taking my family downtown when we can, getting to Edgewater when we can. Can't go to Edgewater after it rains. They always sit there and they go, oh, nope, alert, E. coli alert, can't go in the water.
Maybe if the Browns played during the summer, like it would be a little different. I'd understand. But even
I'm
then,
going to the Guardians game on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. But even then, there's nothing to do downtown. I'm sorry. Like personally, I'm not on a weekend going to a museum. Personally, I'm not.
Right.
Like,
How old are you?
I'll go to the zoo once every other year.
We are zoo members.
Once every other year, I'll go to the zoo.
Shout out to the Metro.
I don't have kids. There's nothing to do. Like,
right.
And
I'm tired. How old are you?
I'm tired of going to the flats and drinking and waking up and feeling like garbage. I want something to do that doesn't require me to have. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, this is not an alcoholic thing. This is gonna sound like an alcoholic thing. I don't want to like go somewhere. I want to go somewhere and feel like this is so fun without having to drink alcohol. That's not. I know that sounds horrible, but that's not what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly
there's nothing to do where I go, this is so fun. Let's take the family or my friends. Let's go do it downtown.
You are a perfect case study. We're a perfect 24, case study.
24.
You are 24 years old. You're living your life. I'm 36 with a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
Neither one of us have anything good to do downtown on any given day.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we'll go to the zoo and we'll take him to the museum. You're right. Nice big park. I can take him to that. Dude, Edgewater gets packed. Absolutely packed. Well, we'll get rid of the stadium and put a park there. Better be a nice park. I understand that the easy answer is just keep the Browns because you get parking and all this other kind of stuff and all that. You are going to have I don't think people are even really understanding the massive change this is going to be. Muni Lot is now functionally obsolete. I drive by it every time I come in to do the show. When it's not a Browns Sunday, a fifth of that lot has parkers in it. The rest of the time, they're running drills for the Cleveland Police. I'm not even kidding.
Maybe it's a wake-up call. If your backbone of the economy is a perennially 3-win football team that's been the worst since returning, you probably need a wake-up call.
Well, here it is. Slap in the face wake-up call. We got it. All right, Deontay Johnson went on a podcast. And on that podcast, he talked to Kenny Pickett, and he talked some weather. We'll hear from Deontay Johnson coming up, and something I didn't like what I heard from him. We'll get to it. Fontana Show here on Big Play, presented by our great friends, Fairway Ford, Garage Beer, and Pure AV. Back right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Pure AV, luxury home automation. Experience your dream smart home by visiting pureavcorp.com.
All right, I know the Browns don't like it when their players are out there kind of leaking inside secrets and things like that. So Deontay Johnson goes on the Sports and Suits podcast, and he says Kenny Pickett might be the guy for the Cleveland Browns. Welcome back. Fontana Show, you're on Big Play. Catch us on the Rock on Fridays at 4 o'clock. Garage Beer, doesn't a lime garage beer just sound perfect right now with this weather? I know it does to me. Garage Beer, Fairway Ford, and Pure AV bringing you a show this week, as always, right here with Big Play. So he's on the Sports and Suits podcast, and I don't even think, I don't know, Ryan, if you want to play the clip about him. He said he didn't like playing in the cold. And he comes to Cleveland. You got it. Here's Deontay Johnson on the Sports and Suits podcast talking about the weather.
Third, going into the fourth or whatever. They're like, Tay, we need you. I'm like, nah, I don't think it's I don't think it's a good idea for me. Like, cause like I was thinking about like my legs. I don't want to go out there and put bad stuff on film.
Right.
And it's not like I didn't want to go in the game, but you got to think like leading up to this point, I done been through so much. And
like you said, man, you were kind of checked out.
I checked out mentally. I was like, whatever happens, happens. Like I was just rolling with the punches at that time. So I told him I wasn't going in. I was like, I understand what you're saying, like, but I'm not finna go in. So I just sat on the bench.
Brown signed that guy. That was about him and his time in Baltimore, right?
He said, nah.
I'm good. Then he revealed the Browns were the only team to contact him.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Now, when they signed him, we discussed it. Then I said, oh, low risk, right? You gave him the veteran minimum. Maybe he's turned over a new leaf. Maybe that was just a really bad year from him. How are you letting that guy in your locker room? Seriously. And I'm not trying to make Deontay Johnson to be out some horrible person or some villain. That's how desperate they are.
I mean, yeah. Have you seen that wide receiver room?
Do you not have, like, standards?
Come on. It's the Browns.
Then if I really wanted to get irrationally mad about this, It's not even that's the truth. That Deontay Johnson was playing for a game with Baltimore. They needed him in the fourth quarter, and he said no.
He didn't want that bad tape out there,
He didn't want the bad tape out of there for another team, and his legs were cold. It's not even all of that, Ryan. It's that he went on a podcast and said it.
Yeah.
He went on a podcast and said it. Lie! Don't ever say that. Don't. What are you doing? And we always ask people, oh, tell the truth, and we want to know the truth. Not this time, man. All that aside, and that being the truth, he went on a podcast and put it out there for everybody. What are we doing here? Seriously. And maybe he'll go out and catch 5 touchdowns. And God, I hope, I guess. That tells you the exact state of the Cleveland Browns. And you want to know what bothers me? I really thought we were past some of this. I really did. Like, I remember the eras where you signed guys that nobody else wanted. Nobody else wanted these guys. They were veteran players. They couldn't get anything more than the minimum. But go to Cleveland and go get a check and just pull in checks. We interviewed a guy. I'll never forget this. Randy Starks, defensive end from the Miami Dolphins. He signed a free agent deal with the Browns. Everybody goes, what the hell? He told, I was sitting there with Riz and Gerard. We were live at training camp doing an interview. Randy Starks admitted, looked us straight in the eye and said, yeah, I don't practice. What? What are you doing here? And like even the Odell stuff, Odell was a good player. I get why he made the trade. Like I just thought those games were gone of guys coming here to steal checks. And you got Deontay Johnson. They had had long talking to with him.
Yeah.
It's not like you were fighting off 6 other teams trying to sign him. Nobody else wanted Deontay Johnson. But come get a check from the Cleveland Browns.
A couple of things. Like I don't know why he would admit that. There's no good that can come from that. But again, though, it is kind of refreshing to hear somebody tell the truth. But again, like why admit that one. Why admit that the Browns were the only team that came and got you? I guess maybe that builds the public chip on your shoulder. They make you want to root for you, I suppose. Maybe a PR angle on that.
All right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, Deontay Johnson, like you said, like how desperate are you? The Browns receiving room is absolutely garbage. Like I hate to say, like I have hope for Cedric Tillman, but beyond that, who even knows what Jamari Thrash is? And then outside of it, it's like some special teams guys. Yeah, you're that desperate. And Deontay Johnson, like you said, a vet minimum, a guy that is 4 years removed from his only Pro Bowl season in 2021 when he was one of the best at beating guys in man coverage.
Perfect slot guy.
If that works out for the Browns, then it's fine. You just hope, this is an anomaly, and you're not going back to your old ways of just giving old guys chat. Not even that Deontay Johnson's old, but guys that have been in the league at least made a name for themselves and just playing for money.
Here's the thing. That's like the crafty, conniving, like, ooh, I got one over on everybody. You're no position to do that.
Yeah.
Other teams
That's
might
like the Chiefs, like they signed D-Hop or something.
Exactly.
Not that D-Hop's that bad.
He goes to the Eagles and everybody goes,
a
little intrigue.
Yeah, they must
good
know
sign.
Something.
Got it.
Howie's a genius.
Here, like what? What are we doing? I don't know. So beyond that, he also talked about he thinks Kenny Pickett's the guy to go. During the appearance on the Sports and Suits podcast, quote, I think they're going to roll with Kenny for right now. Now, they have a relationship because they were both in Pittsburgh together, and maybe he's just kind of doing some bidding for Kenny Pickett. But you know where I'm at. Conspiracy theory. They're continuing to push that narrative of Kenny Pickett so they can trade him back out and get away.
Bro, Deontay's just speaking up for his brother. He knows nothing about who's going to start.
No, I don't think anybody does. But it's like they want to get that. They want to control the narrative. We talked a lot about that with Shador on last week's show. But it's like I think they want to push that. Like, oh no, Kenny can take this job, right? And then I think it was Greg Rosenthal. I retweeted the clip. It's a great one. He goes, if the Eagles, who needed a quality backup, and decided that a guy named Tanner McKee was better than Kenny Pickett for their backup quarterback job, what does that say about Kenny Pickett? What does that say if Joe Flacco can't beat out Kenny Pickett for this job? And I've never once thought that this quarterback competition was on equal footing. They're all different for different reasons. Flacco's played and Pickett's played a little bit, whatever. But like, I never once bought that narrative that, oh, the Browns really, really wanted Kenny Pickett and they had to go get him, and that's why he's here and he's got a leg up. Bro, Howie Roseman had Kenny Pickett sitting out on his front lawn with a cardboard sign with Sharpie saying, make an offer. Transmission busted, no air conditioning. Go to Fairway Ford. He's got this broken down piece out there in the front lawn, hoping somebody drives by and makes an offer on it. That was Kenny Pickett. That was really mean, and I apologize for that. I'm not trying to rip Kenny Pickett down. But like, oh, Kenny's the guy? Based on what? Seriously, based on what? Because they traded for him, they acquired him first. They had no quarterbacks on the roster. None. They needed somebody. And then I did get a tweet from somebody, and I apologize because it was a good tweet. All you need to know about Kenny Pickett, yeah, they traded for him first, then went out and got 3 more quarterbacks after him. What does that tell you? They went out and got 3 more quarterbacks after they got Kenny Pickett. That probably tells you all you need to know about where things stand. But I guess you're right. I appreciate Deontay Johnson for putting it out there. I don't know if I'd have done that. But there we are. So everybody go shout out to the Sports and Suits podcast. All right, Cavs, NBA draft going on. They do have some second-round picks. Ryan and I are recording this before the second round, so we'll see. But a lot of trades starting to happen. Where can the Cavs maybe slide into a couple? We'll get to that next. Fontana Show, part of the Big Play and Rock Sports Network. Back after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
All right, rumors starting to get going here as the NBA draft is going on. First round, not as much drama as you thought.
Little breaking news. We usually do this on our daily shows, Matt.
Yeah,
we
we're
didn't really
Thursday morning
just
here.
From Adam Schefter. Browns have released defensive end Obo Okoronkwo.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. They signed Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. I'm surprised, honestly, Obo made it as long as he did.
Yeah.
They signed almost the same exact deal.
He just wasn't productive.
Yeah. You got Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. That's it. That's another money move there. So again, breaking news here.
I miss when we had breaking news, like every day.
I miss our daily show. So for those, and I don't do this enough. We're gonna talk Cavs. Would you have traded Darius Garland to get Kevin Durant?
Is it Pope Catholic?
Yep, I'd have done the same thing. I probably would have done that. I do think there's areas for the Cavs to slide in and make some trades. But real quick, talking about our show. A lot of people, we just showed up on the Rock one day. Yeah. So Ryan and I have been doing our show here on Big Play for, we're coming up on 2 years, which is crazy. We were daily for a long time. Now we're weekly, and you can always catch the show live on not live, but live to you Thursday night. So we tape Thursday mornings. It airs Thursday nights on the Big Play social channels, and then we're on the Rock on Fridays. And then if you might be following our show, we have a dozen other shows. Drennan's here. Big Factor's our daily show with Ryan and Jack and Nick. Big Play Cleveland, everybody knows, with Reef Flogging Crew. Honor the Land with Max and Chef Zay. You got the Baerga Show, which is one of our most popular shows. We have our golf show. I watched the golf show on Wednesday night with Megalyn and crew. Big Play's got everything for it. But right now, I've been doing this about 2 years now. 2 years. Coming our anniversary. Should we get a cake?
Yeah, hell yeah.
We should get a cake. Honestly, our first show, September 1st, is pretty. I think we're September 5th. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because we waited till right after Labor Day. It was the first week of the regular season 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we started.
Insane.
Look at us now, man. Here we are.
Crazy to think about.
Love you. Fairway. We wouldn't be here without Fairway Ford, Garage Beer, Pure AV, Dave and Ken and Nick and everybody. We wouldn't be here without, and you. We would not be here without you. So we very much appreciate everybody that joins us each and every week. Just quick on the Cavs here. The more craziness, the better. Find a 3-team trade, just kind of slide in there and get something done. But the fact that you've already got a couple of big moves, I think people are waiting to see what happens with Giannis. The Halliburton injury, which we haven't had a chance to react to, I hate seeing that. Nobody likes seeing that. But you also sit there and say, is it not the Knicks and the Cavs? That's it.
Yeah. And,
I don't know. The Pacers, and my Halliburton takes here. The Pacers aside, 76ers are a bag of cats. I'd have no idea what the Celtics are going to be, especially now they're already getting offers for Derek White. And their moves with Porzingis and Drew Holiday, that's just to get under the apron. I don't think they're going to trade Jaylen Brown. Save that clip. But you are, and what happened? Dude, you vaulted. some books have the Cavs as the second favorite to win the championship next year, second or third, depending on where you look.
I don't know how you wouldn't say they're the favorites to win the East. I mean, you certainly feel better about New York.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the results in the regular season. Plus, you have more continuity. Yeah, exactly. They don't even know who their head coach is going to be. And then I'm sure there'll be a team that comes out of the woodwork, like a Magic, Detroit, Atlanta, something like that. But I don't know how you'd make an argument for the Cavs not to be the favorite to win the East.
I agree. So we'll see how it goes. I think the more crazy, the better. Speaking of crazy, we'll get to the grid. It's always a little craziness. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Infinity. Luxury experiences for those who dare to be different. Visit infinityofbeechwood.com today.
Let's get to it. We got the immaculate grid. We got to fly. Here we go. Welcome back,
let's do it, baby.
5,000 receiving yards. Go. Megatron.
That'll fly.
I would say DJ Moore's got Megatron.
Come on, they don't know the nickname.
They should. They should.
If you ever do that, just type what's in your head.
Yeah. It's got to be DJ Moore.
Yeah, 100%.
And I would have to say it's Scary Terry.
Yeah, definitely.
It's got to be, right?
Yes.
I mean, other than that, you go like Vernon Davis or something.
Because he's going into his contract year.
Terry McLaurin. Pay my guy, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to get paid. Like, come on.
All right, let's open things up here.
What's screaming at me with this? You know who's screaming at me with this? Isn't that Charlie Batch?
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Maybe cooking a little something. Steelers, Bears. That's Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool is correct.
That dude sucks.
Yeah, he's not good.
Steelers, Commanders. I don't like that one.
Okay, that's fine. The Commanders always give us issues.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Alex Anzalone?
Alex Anzalone is correct. Alex Anzalone is correct, 100%.
God, I wish I had hair like that. Do I know?
Does he highlight his hair, or do you think it's
that looks like
it looks a little highlighted?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, a little bit. Why am I screaming? Some quarterback screaming here. It's not Taysom Hill.
Tyrod Taylor?
No, I don't think he ever played in Chicago.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't think it's Brian Hoyer.
Andy Dalton?
It is Andy Dalton.
Right?
That's it. That's Andy Dalton. That's 100% who it is. Done and done. All right, Commanders always give us issues, man. Kickers.
Oh, this one's perfect, actually. Commanders, Saints, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes, he did play. They did do the mid-season trade.
I don't know who the heck I would have picked.
Done and done. All right.
Oh, we could have done Chase Young, actually.
We could have. Yeah, we could have done Chase Young.
Okay.
My gut screams running back, but I don't. I mean, obviously,
D'Angelo, no.
I don't think he ever played in Washington.
Yeah, I don't.
Marcus Mariota, no.
Pierre Garçon didn't play in Pittsburgh, did he?
No.
Any kickers?
Not that I can think of. Joey Sly, I know, kicked in Washington, but I don't think he ever kicked there. Chris Boswell.
Fat Randy.
Chris Boswell's been in the Steelers forever. Yeah, I know it's not Fat Randy.
Come on, we can't lose on this one.
I know. Terrell Pryor never played for the Steelers. Zach Ertz never played in this for this. I'm just trying to get our brains rolling here a little bit.
I can't think of anybody that played for the Commanders and Steelers.
Yeah, I know, it's tough.
Commanders is so tough.
I mean, we're running out of time, too, on our show. We might just have to rip one here.
Yeah.
London Fletcher never played in Pittsburgh, I don't think.
I mean, any quarterbacks? Oh, conspiracy. Any quarterbacks?
So I'm trying to rip through, like, Mason Rudolph, no. Duck Hodges, I don't think so. Golly. There's one that's, like, screaming at us, and I know. I wanted to say John Randall, but I don't think so. Mike Webster going back to those
what do you want to throw up? Josh Johnson?
Antoine Randall L?
Sounds good to me. Oh, God.
You might just have to go Randall L.
Yeah, but how do you spell Randall L?
No, E-L, like R-A-N-D-L-E, and then L. Hang on. All right, here's his first name. A-N-T-W.
Wait, why am I in all caps? A-N-T-W.
W-A-A. There he is, right there. Antoine and Randall.
Wow! What a... That was the most popular.
Nice!
Holy cow.
Hell yeah! Let's go!
Holy cow. Charlie Batch was the most popular, too.
Break right after this. Here we go.
Wow.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
A little sneaky there on that Antoine Randall L, baby. Love it. I know why.
Crazy.
In my head, I just picture him like, wait a minute. I think I could picture him in a Washington uniform. There it is. All right, great stuff. Appreciate everybody joining us this week. We're back next week as well. Make sure you follow on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Instagram is Big Play. YouTube is Big Play. And you can watch the show live on Twitter at Matt Fontana Show or catch the replay on YouTube as well. And then, of course, Fridays at 4 o'clock on The Rock. Actually, there's somebody, I had a college professor wish me a happy birthday this week, and he wrote on my wall, he goes, I caught your show.
Why didn't I tell me it was your birthday?
I don't like telling people it's my birthday. I'm not one of them. It was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's not really, when you stop counting at an age, and I'm kind of like, ew. I reminded myself what birthday it was, and I was like, ew.
I feel that way already.
Do you remember when you were a kid and somebody had an older brother or sister, and you heard they're like, oh, they're 23, and you're like, oh, that's so old. No, not good. But anyway, and they go, hey, I caught your show on The Rock. And I said, thank you very much. So we're on Fridays at 4 o'clock. We always appreciate your support. Thanks to Garage Beer, Pure AV, Fairway Ford. We're back next week. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy. Thank you.